I am Stephen Edholm from SkillCult.com, and today I'm doing shoutouts to people doing my Cordwood Challenge. I have 3 people finished already and some other people that are in progress or have started and I haven't heard from them for a while. I'm just going to kind of shout everyone out. As I said before, I don't want people to feel undue pressure to finish it, even if they've started it. And I'm sure there's people doing it that I don't know about that are going to contact me later. Or people that have just started playing around and may end up finishing a quantity of wood. After that, I also have just some, people have asked me questions. I didn't really think the whole thing out that well. I just kind of threw it out there and figured it sort of sort itself out. So yeah, people have asked me some questions, so I have some stuff to say about that and just a few other thoughts. So 3 people have finished completely. The first one to finish was Tim Springston of Oxbow Farms. He has a YouTube channel called Oxbow Farms, and he's working on a second chord. So he doesn't get anything from me for doing a second chord, but good for him and way to go. The next one to finish was Todd Walker from Survival Sherpa. He has a website, Survival Sherpa, YouTube, Facebook, all that under Survival Sherpa. And he did a cord of wood, I think at 20 inches, and he blazed through it, did a lot of really cool videos. Definitely go check out his videos. Timothy Sutton, he has a YouTube channel called Flatland Woodsman. He just finished up and it looks great. He stacked it in kind of a cool round house shape thing. I forget what it's called, but looks cool. And I liked watching his videos because he's got his kids out there, and his kids are just like all business, man. I mean, they're these little kids and they're just going at it. It's awesome. So congratulations to those 3 people for finishing and being the first people ever to finish the Cordwood Challenge. Whenever I get it together to make the patches and the axe drops, we still have to finish the leather and do some other stuff for the axe drops. Then I'll put those together and send them out. Okay, so here's the other people that are in progress. I'll do the ones with YouTube channels first. David Jones 03, she has videos on doing her Cordwood Challenge. Aaron Foster. Patrick Hale, who I think is probably the youngest person doing the Cordwood Challenge. I think he's 16 or 17. M. Lil Things, I don't know the guy's real name. He always wears a mask, so presumably he doesn't want us to know his true identity. So 2 people with YouTube channels that haven't started yet but told me to go ahead and shout them out because it'll light a fire under their butt are Homestead Box and J Diggs HSX. The rest of them, I got a list down here. The rest, that's why I keep looking there. You probably know that already. J Vanier, Capt Henderson, which I assume means Captain Henderson, Brian Larson. Okay, I had a few questions. One person wanted to know if they could do dead and downed wood. Yes, I don't mind that, if that's what you got. I think it's a better experience to cut the trees down and cut them up, but if you have a bunch of wood that needs to be used up that's down, or if that's all you have access to, that's totally fine with me. I just don't want people saying, oh, well, I have this wood that's already kind of, chainsawed up into long pieces and I'm just going to use that or whatever. Just do most of your, all of your work with an axe and don't have any of it pre-done with a saw. Obviously there's some gray area in there. If you have an area where people just like drop trees with a chainsaw before and they need to be cut up and that's what you have access to, yeah, I mean, that's fine with me. But, keep it within the spirit of the thing. And I would also say that for splitting. People ask me about splitting mauls. I'm totally fine if you use a splitting maul. I think it's even interesting. To me, that's an axe. That's totally fine. But I would encourage you to think about or experiment with just using an axe and just using whatever axe you're splitting with. I split all of this in a very short time with this 1 1/4 pound boy's axe. I've split everything this year with the 1 1/4 pound boy's axe. There's one piece there that's really recalcitrant, but if I whack it another 10 times, I'll probably get the piece off that I want. Is it the easiest thing ever? No, but neither is the Cordwood Challenge, and it's really not that bad when you get good at it. And I've definitely developed strategies that I didn't have before to just get better at it and dial it in. So my suggestion is really that you just use an axe, but you just use the axe that you're using, and just do it and stick with that for a while and see what's possible. And I think you may be surprised. I certainly was, what I can pull off. Timothy Sutton also did all of his cordwood challenge with axes. He cut and split 90% of his wood with a 2 1/4 pound boy's axe, which is what I'm using this year. So there's my suggestion, but I don't mind if you use mauls, and I think an interesting possible way to approach especially larger wood would be to, you know, cut long lengths and then split them into quarters lengthwise and then buck those with a log. Because if you're dealing with something like over 10 inches, you know, you're looking at maybe like a 12-inch wide, these 12-inch wide notches, and if you're trying to cut like 16 to 20-inch firewood, that just becomes fairly silly. So maybe, you know, split those with a maul first into quarters and then buck them up. Of course, wedges could be used there too. I don't mind if people use wedges. If I really needed to split something with a wedge, like it was a little too big or something, I would just use the axe to get a start and then bust out some temporary wooden wedges, like disposable wedges, really fast, and use those and just, you know, leave them in the woods or whatever. But I also don't mind if you use steel wedges. That's totally fine with me. I don't have any problem with that. Again, same thing though, I would kind of encourage you to go minimalist just to figure out what you can get away with, and maybe new strategies that you could use that you can use anytime when you have just an axe. Okay, some safety stuff. We've seen some fairly horrifying things in some of the videos, and most of the people doing those horrifying things are fully aware that they're horrifying. But yes, these things are very dangerous and you need to be careful. Unfortunately, there just aren't that many good resources. I'm going to try to get some stuff out, but I just don't know what I'm going to have time to pull off. And, you know, avail yourself of what's out there. In terms of felling, you can just look at felling in general. You know, there's tutorials on felling with a chainsaw that would be very useful to you as, you know, someone felling trees with an axe. Do your homework on that stuff. It's very dangerous. Anyone who hasn't fallen trees or studied it doesn't understand the things that can go wrong. So when you study up on it, it'll kind of like tell you some of the common things that go wrong. Trees can fall incredibly fast. Like, not everyone understands how fast a tree can fall, and that you don't necessarily have time to react. You don't necessarily have time to run away, especially if the thing ends up doing something unpredictable. Make a study of falling, watch a bunch of videos, read books. Morris Kohansky's book talks about it, Dudley Cook's book talks about it. Okay, just one more safety note. I don't want to do like a whole safety thing here or anything like that, but a common thing I've seen is foot positioning and having feet potentially in the way. You want to think of where the axe is going to go, and that includes like a lot of different things, right? So it could be like if you keep cutting through the log and your foot is right here and it's going to hit your foot. It could be if you're cutting at the log but you're not confident that you're going to hit it exactly where you want, and it's going to miss and go across the top and hit you in the foot. It could be that your foot's over here and you're going to cut this way, but if that glances for some reason, it could be anything. It could be that your angle's a little off. It could be that it hits something on the way. Who knows? But for whatever reason, the thing glances and bounces and comes out, and that happens really fast. You know, you can't, there's no time for you to react or anything like that. It's just going to happen. It's either to hit you or it's not. So think follow through. Think follow through all the time. Where's the energy of that axe headed? What is the potential for it to not go where you want it to go? You may have a whole plan, right? That it's going to do this, it's going to do this, but can you really do that? I mean, are you confident that the axe is going to cut right there if it hits? Are you confident that you can hold the right angle? That you're confident that you understand the length of the handle and are going to make sure you hit the thing at the right spot, etc., and so on? And if you don't, where is that energy possibly going to go? And don't think like it's going to go here. Think it could go in this whole, like this is the area that it could potentially go, and just get your body out of that area. All right, hopefully we'll get back to all that stuff. But there you go for now. And this is way cool. It's really cool to have 3 people have finished already. And I know there's more people out there working on it or thinking about it. There's still 2 months left. So I know a lot of places it's just kind of starting to thaw out, so it could be a good time to get out and do it. I didn't really promote or push the Cordwood Challenge that hard because, well, partially I just didn't want to get myself into too much this year and just kind of let it run lightly this year and sort out some wrinkles and see how it goes and what I want to get myself into with it next year or not. But it's been really cool. I mean, everyone's been learning from each other. There's been a lot of camaraderie and a little sense of community and bonding going on. It's been really cool for me to meet a bunch of really cool people that are doing it. And to me, those people, they have credibility and they have something that maybe is not so common in the world today, in society today. And so I applaud all of you who are doing it, or have tried to start it, or anything, whether you finish or not. And of course, big, giant bow from all of us to the 3 people who've already finished. I'm going to finish up this tree right now and go finish off my half of what I need to do, and then move on from there and maybe go cut down another tree this evening.